Hi there, everybody. Dr. Jennifer Brown here with Understanding Women. Let us continue this discussion of relationships. Such an awesome, gooey topic, really wonderful, really disastrous, and yet really wonderful again. So I think a lot of people are going to resonate with a lot of what I'm talking about tonight. A client has come to me with a great new relationship. I'm thrilled for her, fantastic. And all of a sudden, after about a month, she's going, well, it hasn't gone sour, so what should I do? What should I do? And that really brought up the last two, actually, very serious relationships that I was in. Can't believe I'm going to share these with you, but I am. The first one, which was a few years ago at this point, was love at first sight. I didn't think that even happened. Honestly, I thought that was shit for movies. What did I know? But it really was for both of us. Like the cosmos stopped and we just stared at each other and went, okay, you're it. Now what do we do? Now what's your name? At that point, I felt such attraction and love for him. I didn't really care who he was, what his past was, or anything else. But after about 6 months of being together and figuring out who the other one was, it was pretty clear that this wasn't right, that this wasn't going to work. And it was disastrous. It was heartbreaking. After a week of knowing each other, he was ready to put a ring on my finger. He's like, this is it. This is definitely it. We both had similar goals. This wasn't like out of nowhere. We both had very similar goals and aspirations, but in terms of personality, lifestyle, it was very, very different what we wanted. I let that relationship go. Shortly thereafter, I met somebody else who I was very hesitant to date, because our lives were completely different. I did not think that this was someone that I could definitely get on board with in terms of cultural differences, all different types of things that are just kind of like, all right, can we actually like pay bills together and whatnot? And yet at the soul level, we fell inside of each other. It was the most wonderful, romantic, loving relationship. And after about 2 months, he wanted to put a ring on my finger. As far as I know, he actually went so far as to buy one. I found this after the fact. In both cases, I had a very, very wise metaphor pop into my mind that I'm really glad I followed, even through all the heartbreak. And yes, I still think about both of these individuals and I still miss them. But in terms of a long-term relationship, here's the thing about being in a long-term relationship. Long-term means you need to put time in. And not just time spent together, but how committed are you? Again, what are you willing to invest? The metaphor that came to me was that of a plant. My father had said this wonderful thing all growing up. He said it in terms of friendships, not necessarily romantic relationships, but I think it's the exact same idea is completely valid for both. The metaphor is, if you want a relationship, or he would say you'd want a friendship, it's like a plant. You got to water it. Right? You got to take care of it. You got to make sure there's enough sunshine going on it, or not too much sunshine. You don't want it to burn. I live in Arizona, so we do have plants that get too much sun and die. So is there enough attention on it? Let's take it out of metaphor. Are you putting too much attention on it? Do you need to back it up some? Are you visiting enough? Are you revisiting? Are you communicating? That's right for friendships. That's also right for love relationships. And if you want that plant to grow strong and sturdy, let's say it's a tree, you plant it outside. If you want to make sure that it's going to be a several 100-year-old tree, well, then those roots don't get big and strong right away. It takes time. It takes nourishment. It takes water. The symbol of water, by the way, is that of emotion. So it takes emotional commitment, emotional connection. You need a strong root structure to have a long-term commitment with somebody that is going to be happy, that is going to be healthy. So both with my ex-boyfriend that was a love at first sight, as well as with the man who I only ended up dating for a few months, the idea was still the same, and what I told them was the exact same thing. I would love to marry you. Not yet. We don't have enough root structure yet. We don't have enough foundation. We don't have enough stability yet. Can't we grow that and then see? And the way that we do that is simply more time together, more commitment. Let's get to know each other better. And it doesn't have to be all serious stuff. It doesn't have to be all crazy romantic stuff. A lot of the time, it's, the real committed stuff is the crazy time. It's Wednesday morning. We're both running late for work. There's one cup of coffee left and the trash still needs to get taken out. Who does what? Who gets the coffee? Who takes out the trash? That's love, man. That's life, right? All of the romance and all of the great, I want to marry you, fantastic. Can you do a budget together? That's the stuff, part of the stuff that needs to get thrown into this equation of what makes a strong root structure. You need love, you need commitment, you also need communication, you need planning, you need longevity. What do we want to do? Are we on the same page with this? No. How do we get there? If the answer is yes, fantastic. Let's move along. So what I ended up telling my client was very simple. Be in the now. See if you want to continue hanging out with him. If you want to, fantastic. If you continue wanting to hang out with him for a few more months, you're golden. Even more months past then, now you're talking long-term relationship, right? So, thumbs up this video if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm on Facebook. I am on Snapchat now, which is kind of interesting. You get to see a lot of me with the dogs, just so you know, because that actually ends up being a lot of fun. They're, of course, coming over to say hi now. And also on Instagram. Dr. Jennifer Brown is me on Instagram. Understanding Women, Dr. Jennifer Brown on Facebook. YouTube, I think I'm just Dr. Jennifer Brown, Understanding Women. All right. If you have any issues, personal issues that you would like me to address in one of these videos, of course, you would be anonymous. Comments, leave them below, message me, let me know. I am happy to go ahead and address issues on womanhood, on relationships. I do know that a lot of these videos lately have been on relationships. Usually I speak more on womanhood in general. I will at some point soon start a whole video segment just for men, heterosexual men, that are looking for women. What do you need to know? Where are the synapses not connecting? What's happening with communicating? What do women want? And how do I go ahead and make that work? So I will address men specifically. For now, let's look at relationships. Any type of relationships is good. Then we'll be focusing on womanhood. All right? Have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao.